Okay, we've got our main lower third animated. We're going to come in here and animate our other piece here, the breaking news. And we can do this in so many different ways that you have a couple of elements here that you could certainly use to animate in. We're going to make it very easy on ourselves and just animate in one group. Like I mentioned when we designed this, I don't think we'll ever need to change this, but if you think you do, we can add a control text on here just in case we ever want to give someone control to change this. So we can add that control text on there, and we already have our constraint set up on the text box so that if they do try and type something in there and they go over, it's going to constrain it. Alright, so now just decide how you want this to animate on. Remember, it's going to work with the lower third. You could have it scale up just like we did in the lower third animation. However, since we haven't done it yet, why don't we just do a position animation? So this should be fairly easy. We just need to set where we want our breaking news to end. And I'm going to hit set keyframe. Then I'm going to rewind it all the way to 0. And this is where I want the breaking news to begin. So I'm just going to use my position and I'm going to slide that all the way to the left and then hit set keyframe. Now I hit play, and then our breaking news comes in. So the idea is the lower third will be up on air, and then at any time you could just hit play and this breaking news banner would come up, and you could take that out at any time. Alright, so that one's all done. Save your animation. We're going to move on to the next part of it here. We'll go into our asset view. Okay, so we're going to go into the upper right and we're going to decide how we want to animate this on. First, if you need to make it accessible for someone to change it, you could use, again, our control text plugin if you want to give them control to change this text. I don't think we're going to do that necessarily on this one. I'm just going to scale that on location down a little bit. We have our scene set up so that there is a background and then the texts are separate. I'm just going to use this as is to make an animation here. First, I want to animate my background plate on. So I'm going to click on that group. We have both cubes inside of that group, and since they are cubes, they are 3D, we might be able to animate this a little bit differently than the previous two. I'm going to come into my axis center, and I have my bounding box on, and I'm going to adjust my center line here by adjusting the Y of it, and then I'm going to put the X somewhere in the middle roughly, and it's hard to see, but I'm going to place the Y somewhere in the center as well. I'm going to advance my timeline to the place where I want it to end, or where I want this bar to stop its animation. I'm going to hit set keyframe, then I'm going to rewind. Now I just need to figure out how I want to animate this on. So maybe I'll rotate this a bit on one of the axes, and anytime you make a change here, you can just, and you don't like it, you can just double click on that blue variable and that will reset it to what it was originally or its default value. So I'm going to use the X rotation maybe just to rotate this once or twice around. It will rotate as it comes up, and I'm also just going to scale it down to 0 as well. We'll hit set keyframe and let's see what that looks like. It's going to scale up and flip up. Now we need to animate the text on. And again, we could use our text effects plugins. So we could come down into our text effects and use them as well. Or you could just manually animate these as well. If you click on the container, you can see where our bounding box is. We have other plugins that you could use as well. For example, if you just wanted to use an alpha, we could slide that on and just use an alpha here. So roughly once after it lands, we want it to fade up. So somewhere right around there, I'll just decrease my alpha to 0 and set another keyframe. Now we hit play again, and you can see how that alpha comes up. Finally, we'll just scale our last word up here, the live. We'll click on that. We go into the transformation editor. Our center axis is set to the left, but we could come down here and use our right center or left, set it wherever we want. I'm going to use the right and the bottom so that it is going to grow from the bottom right. And again, advance my timeline wherever I want it to land. I'm going to set a keyframe. I will rewind the timeline just a bit, and then I'm going to take my scaling down to 0. I'll set keyframe again. We hit play, and there's our animation. Of course, if you need to make any changes, you just click on an animation wheel, and you can come into your stage and make the changes. You can see our live here went in reverse. So if you want to reverse that keyframe, you just need to drag one over the other, and that's as easy as it is. So now it's all about timing. We have our red backplate that comes in, and once it lands, I want this text to be coming on and the other text to almost come on just at the same time. If you need to zoom into your stage, just use your middle mouse button. And now as we scrub this timeline here, you can see a little bit better frame by frame what is happening. So let's go ahead and hit play. You can see it comes on, and there it animates. That scene is good, so we're going to hit save. And finally, we'll go into our last scene here, the lower right, and we just need to decide how this is going to come on. So right now, we have it just in a group, and we could animate everything in separately, but since it is in a group, we're just going to animate it in all at once, and we'll just have it come in from the bottom. Notice our axis center is over here, so if we wanted to readjust that, we could use our axis center points here to readjust it. Right around 30 is where I want this graphic to land. I'm going to hit set keyframe. I'm going to rewind my timeline. I'm going to have it come in from the bottom or from the Y position. I'm going to hit set keyframe, and then I'm going to hit play, and you can see that that graphic now animates up. And that's all we needed to do for that one. I'm going to go ahead and save this scene. Now we all have graphics that you can call up within your playout device, and they would all interact separately.